I was living in San Jose at the time. I was at the apartment pool with my roommate's kids. They asked me if I would do a cannonball, and I am always one to oblige a child's request, so I did. However, I didn't first look to see how deep the water was. It was 3 feet. I found that out via my tailbone, making solid contact. Pretty sure I cracked the bottom of the pool. Stood up, brushed it off because that's what men do, act like it didn't hurt. Trust me, it hurt very much badly. At the time, I didn't have the funds to get everything taken care of like I should have. I went to the urgent care in Santa Clara. They didn't do an x-ray at the time. They said that it was my tailbone. These things happen. Get a donut, here's some painkillers, and you'll be fine. Got back to Ohio, had moved back in with the parents while I was getting situated and organized, and it was getting progressively worse. The numbness was turning into pain. It was radiating down my leg. It was radiating up my back to a certain extent. The numbness was constant, and I got a little nervous. So it was suggested that I go see a chiropractor. Perhaps something was out of place. No problem. 2 or 3 visits later, she asked if there was any progress, and I said, unfortunately, no, it's getting worse. I got the MRI done. The results came back. The chiropractor then said that I needed to see a surgeon. For the first visit, we went over the history, everything that had happened. She said that because of my size and because of the other extenuating circumstances that I had, it was going to be somewhat difficult to do the surgery. I had to have the injections first, the spinal epidural injections. I had 3 courses done, and I went back for a follow-up with the surgeon, same surgeon. She asked if they had made any difference. I said the second one on day 1 helped. After that, the third one made it worse. So she said that I needed to lose 25 pounds and then come back in July, which was 7 weeks out, for a consult. A coworker of mine actually came to see Dr. Pledger for a similar situation. We compared stories, and I was a little shocked by what I'd heard. He said that Dr. Pledger told him it would only take around 45 minutes or so, and that the recovery could take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. That with the understanding that it was going to take anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks with the other surgeon. I said, give me his number. So I called, and as opposed to having to wait until July, I actually got in to see Dr. Pledger, I believe, 2 weeks later, which is astounding when you're trying to see a surgeon, a 2-week turnaround. Came in for the visit, retold the tale, did not have to get another MRI. He looked at the results. He was very, very friendly, had excellent bedside manner, and said that my condition was fairly obvious as to what was going on. And he asked me a question that hadn't been asked of me. He said, I have 2 boxes, and I have 100 marbles. The 2 boxes represent your leg and your back. Take the 100 marbles and divide it up between back pain and leg pain. I immediately said, all 100 go in the leg. He said, we can fix this problem, no issue whatsoever. entire reason I wanted to have this surgery was so that I could bend over and play with my son. Standing up and sitting down was awful, so running around and playing with a 5-year-old was next to impossible. That's all I wanted. It's the only reason I had the surgery. As soon as I woke up, I had what everybody called my birthday button, which was the morphine button, and they all expected me to push it right away. I didn't touch it because there was absolutely no pain in my leg whatsoever. For the first time in probably 2 years. Nothing. Dr. Pledger came in the next day at, I believe, 7 a.m., which it was nice to see the surgeon who performed the surgery. A lot of times they'll send the intern, but I saw Dr. Pledger come in, say hi, said everything went fine. I was discharged that day with the restriction of not doing anything for 2 weeks, which for me is very difficult to do. I came back from my follow-up, I believe it was 3 weeks after surgery. I had already been back to work for a week. He saw me and he said, "Well, I'm a little sad." And I said, "Why?" He says, "I don't think you need me anymore." I went home and I cut both yards. I was perfectly fine. Obviously, it felt like I'd had surgery. I was a little stiff, a little sore, but the dressing was off, the wound was healed. And then my son came over and he ran up and gave me a hug, and I picked him up and I wouldn't put him down.